Welcome to Live Daf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem, welcome back to today's Daf Yomi Yevamos Nun Aleph. We are actually right at the end of Nun Amid Beis. Amar Rava. Amar Rava, my taima the Rabban Gamliel. Let's go back to the Mishnah for a second. So Minat Torah, there are two options by a Yevama. Yibam takes her in, Chalitza sends her out. Midrabbanan, for reasons we learned yesterday, we reckon with a get given to a Yevama, because it's similar to Chalitza. We reckon with Ma'amar, a type of Kedushin, via Kesef, via Shtar, done to a Yevama, because it's reminiscent of Yivam. So we take that into account as well. And get disqualifies her from Yivam. Ma'amar designates her as the Yevama, to the exclusion of all the other Yevamas, as discussed yesterday. What if he repeats the same process? Obviously not to the same Yevama. But there are two brothers here with one Yevama, and one fellow does Ma'amar. After Reuben does Ma'amar, Shimon follows suit, does Ma'amar as well. Or when it comes to get, he does a get, he does a get. Or if it's one Yavam with two Yevamas, he applies get to this one and get to that one, Ma'amar to this one, Ma'amar to that one. What happens? Does the second one have value? So in the case of a get, it's as though she was divorced by him and he can't engage with her relatives? Or do we just ignore the second part of that process because it's pretty much a repetitive process? Look, either the first one did or the second one did. You can't have both. We have a machlekes. Rabbi Gamliel says, yeah, indeed, you can't repeat, you can't duplicate. Once get sent her away, once get disconnected, the family is disconnected. The family is no longer eligible for Yibum. That's it. You can't duplicate that process. It's over. On a positive note, Ma'amar done to one Yivama designates her, brings her in, making her the primary candidate for Yibum, in which case Ma'amar done to the other one doesn't affect her. Doesn't take away, doesn't add. Chachamim disagree, for the reason that we're going to learn soon. Amar Rava, my taima. First, let's discover Rabbi Gamliel and his reason. My taima de Rabbi Gamliel. Why is it that according to Rabbi Gamliel you can't duplicate get, you can't duplicate Ma'amar? You know why? This is Rava's approach. The Mesabkele, Rabbi Gamliel is unsure as to the effect of a get by Yevama, the effect of a Ma'amar. He's not sure whether it works at all or not. Mesabkele, get, idachi, does it really push her away? Iloi dachi or not? Likewise, when it comes to Ma'amar, on a positive note, he's not sure whether Ma'amar ikani, does it really do a kinyan? Does it bring her closer? Iloi kani or not? And therefore, when it comes to get, idachi, iloi dachi, he's not sure whether or not it pushes her away. And therefore, when you do it twice, the second one certainly has no value. Look, ikama dachi, if get number one pushed away, basra maika of it, it's over. The second one has no place. If the first get had no effect, then basra nami leidachi. Likewise, the second one will have no effect. So you can never duplicate the same process. In similar vein, when it comes to Ma'amar, ikani leikani, he's not sure whether it makes a kinyan or not, and therefore ikama kani, if the first one did the kinyan, it's over. Basra maiki of it, second one can't interfere. Vikama leikani, if Ma'amar number one has no effect, is not koinem, basra nami leikani. Likewise, the second one, it's always going to be either the first or nothing. Esvi Abaye. If so, says Abaye, how are you going to explain the next price? Rabbi Gamliel, he agrees in the following case. Sheyesh get achar Ma'amar, u'Ma'amar achar get. Right? Let's say you did Ma'amar to Rachel, and you did get to Leah, or in the reverse, Ma'amar came after get. In this case, both have an effect. Okay, that's pretty simple because there are two different processes. But listen to this. V'get achar bia u'Ma'amar. There are three Yevamos. Instead of 2, there were 3. Mamar to the first one, Bia to the second one, followed by a get with the third one. What does he say? That the get, which came after the mamar and after the bia, has an effect, and he cannot involve himself with her relatives. She's like a grusha. The get is deemed valid to a certain extent. Likewise, umamar achar bia uget. Just a little bit of a different sequence. He started with get to the first yivama, followed by bia, followed by mamar. Here as well, the mamar, which came at the end, has an effect, and she needs a get from him, and so on and so forth. Now, according to you, Rabbi Gamliel is uncertain as to the power of mamar and get. Why would you give any value to the third item on the sequence? Right, it was either mamar, bia, and then get. Why does get have any value? Look, either mamar is kaina, or if it's not kaina, bia is kaina. That's it. That's the end of the road. Get, which is number 3 in the sequence, has no value. Or in the other case, you have get, bia, and mamar. If get shoves it away, disconnects, that's it. It's over. If it doesn't, so then bia followed that and made that true connection, and that's it. Bia is the final word. Mamar, which followed that bia, has no value. If the whole point is suffix, in this case, the third item on the list would have no value. If Rabbi Gamliel's opinion is based on suffix, he's not sure whether or not mamar and get really have an effect. So even if mamar and get have no effect, let's assume for argument's sake they have no effect. Well, remember, the mamar was followed by a bia, or the other case, the get was followed by bia. If the first item had no value, right, working with that assumption, then bia is perfectly kosher. And what happens? That's the final word. Dihavi kibil chatchila. Let it be like they did bia without any interference. What happens then? It's a proper kinyan. It's over. Show's over. V'tikni. Let it make a proper kinyan, and anything following bia is worthless. So why does Rabbi Gamliel reckon with the third item on the list, which followed the bia? Tanan, look at the Mishnah. Habila bein bizman shi betchila, and habila bizman shi betchila, not bein bizman shi betchila. When a proper bia was done, without interference, when it was the first item on the list, einach rea klum. It can't be followed by anything. Nothing can take away. Nothing can detract from a proper yibum. This is Abayi's kasha on Rava. Again, Rava explains that Rabbi Gamliel is not sure as to the power, as to the impact of mamar and get. Does it work? Does it not? Says Rabbi. Well, if a mamar was followed by a bia, followed by a get, if mamar works, it's over. He made a connection. If mamar doesn't work, then bia made a connection, and then show's over. How can the get following the bia have any effect? Elam Rabbi, I'll tell you the pshat in Rabbi Gamliel. No, Rabbi Gamliel certainly adopts the shita that a get pushes away. Umamar dekani, mamar has the power to connect. Miu, Amar Rabbanon. The Chacham hold that ha Yevama bechad sad mahani boget ubechad sad mahani b'mamar. That, a Yevama can tolerate, can absorb both processes. Part of the Yevama can get rejected through a get. It doesn't do a complete rejection, a partial rejection. It's like it only rejects 50% of the Yevama. And the mamar can bring in the other half. So each one sort of affects half of the Yevama. Has a partial impact. B'chad tzad mahani bo get. On the one hand, get can affect the Yevama. U'b'chad tzad mahani bo mamar. Mamar has an impact on the other aspect of the Yevama. It brings her in. Right? That's the concept behind mamar and get. It's not doesn't have a full effect. It has a partial effect. But you can't duplicate the same thing. Whatever the first one did, the second one can just repeat and do again. It's been done. Whatever rejection was affected by the first get cannot be repeated by another get. Get achar get leidach, idhadach leikama. Get followed by another one has no effect because the first one already pushed away whatever it can push away. It doesn't completely push away the Yevama, only 50%, but that 50% was pushed away 100%. Likewise, a mamar achar mamar leikani. One mamar which brought in 50% of the Yevama can't be followed by another one, because the first one already made that kin and had that effect. But when you varieties, when you go from one to the other, that can be explained. Get achar mamar, or mamar achar get. Get following the mamar, or mamar following a get. There we can understand. Each one has its own unique approach, makes its own personal impact, and can be followed by the other item, which has its own way of impacting. Hai milsa kadachi, get, has the ability to push away. Vai milsa kakani, and mamar, the ability to bring in. Okay, so that's the rationale behind the halachas in the Mishnah. And this is Shittas Rabban Gamliel. If you alternate, you start with get, go over to mamar, or vice versa. I understand why each one will have an impact. But one on top of the other doesn't work. No, so what do the Rabbanon hold? Rabbanon, kol chad v'chad, tekina l'Rabbanon, get u'mamar b'Yevama. They have a different approach. They say, look, all this is very personal. Chachamim empowered each Yavam, or likewise each Yevama, to have their own get, their own mamar. When Reuven issues a get, it's his own personal get. It pushes away his aspect of the Yevama, so to speak, his aspect of the Zika. Shimon comes and does his own thing, applies another get to address his aspect of Zika. Likewise with mamar, each one stands alone. This applies to different Yevamin and different Yevamas. We can now understand how they can apply a get on top of another get, on top of another get, because each get was issued by a different Yavam or applied to a different Yevama. So that's the essence of the machlokes between Rabban Gamliel and Rabbanon. Rabban Gamliel looks at the whole picture in its entirety, it's a totality. One mamar, one get, and that's it. Rabbanon make it personal. One more thing. We still want to address the halacha and that brisa that we brought. That according to Rabban Gamliel, if you started with a mamar followed by a bia followed by a get, or get and then bia and then mamar, the third item on the list has some value. The question was why? Isn't it following a bia? And the answer is like this. V'hai bia psula, keep in mind, there wasn't a proper bia, because it followed something beforehand, something preceded that bia, a mamar, or a get. And in that case, it's not a proper bia. So if it followed a get, we understand why it's a bia psula, because once you do the get, you can no longer be miyavim. If it followed a mamar, which means he did mamar to Rachel, and then went over to Leah to do the bia, it's also problematic, because he had already designated Rachel. In any case, this is called a bia psula. A bia psula has its own value. You can't compare it to mamar or to get. It has its own effect, has its own flavor, so to speak, its own power. On the one hand, it's adifu mi mamar, it's more powerful than mamar. On the other hand, ogrea mi mamar, it's worse than mamar. What does this mean? Adifu mi mamar. On the one hand, it's greater than mamar. Dilu mamar achar mamar le mahani. According to Rabban Gamliel, you can't do repetitive mamars, as we explained. But bia doesn't count. Vilu bia achar mamar mahani. If you do mamar followed by bia, bia has an effect because it's a different type of thing. On the one hand, ogrea mi mamar. it's not as powerful as mamar. Dilu mamar achra get. If he does get followed by mamar, that's the end of the road. Kani lekuli shiur the get. The mamar sort of brings in whatever the get left behind. The get rejected something, and the mamar brought whatever was left in. That's it. You can't follow with anything else. You can't do another mamar, as we explained. But if you do a bia, vilu bia achar get, if you do get and then bia, like hanile lekule shiur the get, a bia does not have that same effect, and it's not considered as though it brought in everything left behind by the get. There's still something left behind for the mamar, the number 3 on the list, the third event, the mamar, to have an effect on it and impact the relationship, as we explained. So bottom line is, we treat each thing independently. Each thing has its own value, its own impact. There is the mamar impact, there's the impact of the get, impact of the bia, but just don't do the same thing twice, because then it's just redundant, and the second item would not be impactful at all. That's Shitas Rabban Gamliel. Tana Rabban. Okay, how does this manifest? Keitzad Amar Rabban Gamliel en get achar get. Can you demonstrate the double get? Shtei Yevamos shenafel fil yavam echad. Sure, you have 2 Yevamos presenting to 1 Yavam, and he approaches one and then the other. V'nosan get lazu, v'get lazu. What's the verdict? According to Rabban Gamliel, the second one is worthless. Rabban Gamliel Eimer Chaylet l'Rishayna. He does chalitza to the first one, v'asa b'krev seah, and he can't get involved with her relatives. Umutar b'krev shniya, but he can marry the relatives of the second one because the get given to her is useless. Rashi points out that of course he could have done a get to the second one too, but it's just a good piece of advice. May as well do it to the first one, who's anyways a puzzle to marry a kohen because she's already received a get. Okay, so spare the second one, spare her the experience, and give the chalitza to the first one. That's Shitas Rabban Gamliel. Chacham Aimer, no, Nasan get lazu, get lazu. If he repeats the get process once to Rachel, once to Leah, both have an impact, both have an effect. Also, b'kroiv shtein. He cannot get involved with the relatives of either one because they're both considered his divorcees. V'chalitza lachas mehen, and then he applies a chalitza to one of the two. V'cheinat to'emer, the same exact concept applies. B'shnei yevamim, v'yivam achas, 2 brothers confronted by 1 yevama. Same concept. Keitzad Amar Gamliel, a mamar achar mamar. Okay, we discussed double get. Let's discuss the double mamar. How does that work? Shtei Yevamos shenaflu lifnei yavam echad. 2 Yevamos presenting to 1 brother. V'asar mamar bazu, and he applied a mamar to either one. Actually, to both. Sorry, he repeated the mamar once to Rachel, once to Leah. Once again, Rabban Gamliel Eimer, the first one takes hold and not the second one. Noisen get l'rishayna. He needs to give a get to number 1. To address the mamar, to remove the mamar effect. V'cholos lani applies chalitza. V'asa b'krev seah, he can't marry her relatives because he was involved with her. But Leah remains unaffected, even though she had a mamar. That was a duplicate, redundant mamar. Umuta b'krev shniya, he can marry the relatives of Leah. V'chacham Aimer, once again, no. Both are affected. Noisen get l'shtein. He needs to apply a get to either, to both of them. V'asa b'krev shtein, can't marry the relatives of both of them. V'chalitza lachas men, and a chalitza to one of them. V'cheinato Eimer b'shnei yevamim, v'yivam achas. And the same exact halach would apply with 2 brothers addressing 1 yevama, where each brother did his own thing. The same shaila, can you repeat, can you duplicate, yes or no? That's the machlokes between Rabban Gamliel and the Chachamim. Continues the Gemara. We're going to focus on one specific aspect of this price. Amamar, noisin get lazu v'get lazu. So, you apply a get. He does a get to both Yevamos. What happens? Rabban Gamliel Eimer chayles l'rishayna v'asa b'krev seah. Only the first one is reckoned with. He needs chalitza. He does chalitza to the first one. He can't marry her relatives. Umuta b'krev shniya, but can go ahead and marry the relatives of the second one, who's unaffected by that duplicate get. Says the Gemara, 1 second. You're allowing the chalitza done to Rachel to benefit Leah. You only need 1 chalitza for both. Remember that the chalitza done to Rachel was not really a proper chalitza because she was not anymore yibum enabled. Once she got a get, she's disqualified from yibum. Lema to have a tiyuf to the Shmuel. This is going to be a stira, a refutation of Shmuel, the Amar Shmuel. You can't do that. Chalitz lebalas haget. Once a Yevama receives the get, she becomes puzzled from Yibum, and she gets chalitza, and there's another woman there, there's another Yevama, a tzara, lenifter a tzara can't be helped by this chalitza, because this is a chalitza psula, in which case you have to give each one a separate chalitza. Amalach Shmuel, ki amri anah, Shmuel says, look, I'm speaking, aliba demand Amar yesh zika, according to the Shita, who considers that the zika as a true bond, a true connector. When an isha is presenting to Yibam, when she's a potential Yevama, that connection binds her to the Yavam. And in that case, all these halachas would apply. You have to do a proper chalitza, and if it doesn't work, each brother has to do it separately, each isha has to have it separately, because you're addressing a real bond, a real relationship. That's what I was speaking about. But here, Rabbi Gamliel Sabar Ein Zika, he holds Ein Zika. We don't really have to reckon with this relationship, meaning it's not such a powerful bond. Any type of chalitza works for everybody. Asks the Gemara, Umad Rabbi Gamliel Sabar Ein Zika. Now, let's just deduce. If Rabbi Gamliel holds Ein Zika, let's assume that the opposing view of Rabbi Gamliel, the Rabbanan in the Mishnah, just like they disagree with the other thing that he said, will disagree with this as well. Rabbanan Sabri Yesh Zika. They hold of Zika. Okay, having said that, we have another kasha. Ktani Seifa. Raisa tells us, V'chein ata imer b'shnei yevamin v'yevama achas. The same concept that applies to two Yevamis with one Yavam, right, where they had repetitive gittin or chalitza or mamars, will apply when there are two men and one woman, and each man did his own thing. He did a get, and he did a get, or he did a mamar, he did a mamar. So you have two Yevam and V'yivama achas. And what does the Brisa say? According to the Rabbanon, we have to reckon with both gittin. Reuben and Shimon both have to give a get, and only one does chalitza. Lema tihavet yufta the Rabbi Rav Huna. It's going to be a steer on Rav Huna the Amarav, the Amar Rabba Barav Huna Amarav. You can't get away with chalitza psula, such as in this case where the chalitza was done in a non-yibum enabled situation. It's after a get. Tzricha lachser al kala achen. She has to make her rounds. All brothers have to apply their own personal chalitza. If it's a chalitza psula, you can't do it on behalf of the whole family. So in this case, why is one chalitza for one brother enough? Amalach Rabba Barafuna. He responds, Bein the Rabban Gamliel, Bein the Rabbanon, Sabri and Zika. You're mistaken. All shitas in this case, whether it's from Gamliel, the Rabbanon hold of Ein Zika, they don't reckon with this bond, and these halachas don't apply if you don't hold of Zika. That's not up for discussion. They're both in full agreement, both Rabban Gamliel and the Rabbanon of Ein Zika. V'acha. The machlokes here focuses on one specific question. The question is, can you do duplicate gittin, repetitive mamars? Do we reckon with the second one or not? That's all they're discussing. But of course, they all follow the shita of Ein Zika, in which case we don't have those concerns about chalitza psula. Let's go back and review the halach. So Rabbi Gamliel tells us like this: also mamar bazu. If he repeats his mamar. Mama to Rachel, Mama to Leah. Rabbi Gamliel Eimer, he needs to address both mamars via a get. Nice and mamar get the rishona. He applies a get to Rachel. V'chayletzla does chalitza v'asa b'kervis. Cannot marry her relatives because she is a grusha, because of the whole story with the get and the chalitza. Umuta b'kroive shniya. He can marry the relatives of Leah because she remains unaffected by that mamar. Now the question is like this: Michti, let's analyze closely. Because Sav Rabbi Gamliel, doesn't he hold that ein ma'amar achar ma'amar? Right? Isn't that his shita? Because he says memanavshach. Memanavshach. Either mama works, then the first one worked. Right? Whatever the mamar affects, it affects the first time around. Right? That was Rabbi Gamliel's rationale. And therefore, the duplicate mamar, the repetitive mamar, has no meaning. If that's the case, go marry the first one. Rishoina namita siyapim. Right? According to him, only the first mamar has an impact. It completely sort of expends, it completely utilizes the power of mamar. You can't go and do another mamar. So mamar to Leah does not interfere with mamar of Rachel. As far as Rachel is concerned, there was no mamar done to Leah. And mamar to Rachel is perfect. Let him proceed with Yibum. V'shoina namitis yabim. Why chalitza? Do Yibum. Gzeira dil ma'asi leyivum elishnia. It's true, technically. He can be miyabim Rachel. We're concerned that if we allow that, he might do Yibum to Leah without differentiating between the two, and of course that's not allowed. That's certainly not allowed because he already designated Rachel. He can't go over to Leah. So that's the reason behind this halacha. Amar Rabbi Yehuda, I'm going to give you a list of many Tanoim who value Ma'amar, who consider Ma'amar as something important, something chashiv. Rabbi Gamliel, Ubei Shammai, Reb Shimon, Uben Asai, Rabbi Nechemya. So all these 5 Tanoim, Kulu Svira Lahu, they all hold that Mamar Koine Kinyan Gomer, Mamar is a Kinyan Gomer. Now Rashi says, Loi Gomer Mamish, not a complete Kinyan. Remember, it's only a partial Kinyan, whether Minatayr or Midrabban, but it's not a full Kinyan. A Kinyan Chashav, rather it means we reckon with it. We give it value, more value than not. Here goes. Rabbi Gamliel Hodamar. Rabbi Gamliel's concept of Ein Ma'amar Achar Ma'amar is based on the fact that the first one made a Kinyan Chashav. It's made a complete Kinyan. It's not just just a partial. It made a full effect, and therefore it cannot be repeated again. Beis Shammai, Desnan, Shloish Achen, 3 brothers, Reuven, Shimon, and Levi. Shnai mehem nesuin l'shtei. Reuven and Shimon are married to 2 sisters, Rachel and Leah. Ve'echad mufna, Levi is unmarried. Meis echad mebalei achos. Reuven, husband of Rachel, passes away. V'asaba mufna mamar. Levi approaches Rachel and does a kiddushei mamar. She's considered as though she's his wife. Mamar has that profound effect. And therefore, when Shimon passes away, leaving behind Leah, who is really Rachel's sister, it doesn't interfere. Rachel's already in. Levi and Rachel are connected. Leah is out of the picture because she's Rachel's sister. And Rachel is already deemed Levi's wife. We see the power of Mamar. Rabbi Shimon, the Sani, as we find, Amar Lahem Rabbi Shimon, L'chachamim. Rashi gives us the background to this halacha. So you have a 9-year-old. Okay, a 9-year-old has a limited kayach of bia. It's considered like a ma'amar. He doesn't have the kayach to be kaina min haTorah. He's not yet an adult, but if he interacts with an isha as married, this Yevamos is deemed to have ma'amar. It's as though he applied ma'amar to a kedusha d'Rabbanan. So what happens now if there were 2 of these incidents following each other? One and then again. A 9-year-old interacted with the Yevamos, and then followed by another 9-year-old. So what happens now? We have trouble, because we have this confusing situation. We have the effect of the first Yavam and of the second Yavam. Rabbi Shimon says, look. He says, no. Just because the second brother came along and did the same as the first brother, don't say she becomes puzzle. No. In bias rishon bia, if you reckon with the bia of brother 1, bia sheni ain't a bia. Just ignore what the second brother did. They're both on the same footing, both of equal value. The first one takes effect and leaves no room for the second one. In bias rishon ain't a bia. If the first one's not reckoned with, then bias sheni nami ain't a bia. Don't reckon with the second one either. And nothing happened. That's the brisa there. Says the Gemara. V'bias ben teisha. We know that the experience of a ben teisha is not really min haTorah. It's only the Rabbanan, the kemamar. Shavu Rabbanan. Chacham gave it the din of a mamar. This is a sugi later on. Rashi brings it bekitzer, but that's the formula. Bias ben teisha is equal to a mamar of an adult. The Ka'amar Rab Shimon ain't a bia. And clearly Rab Shimon says, look, once mamar was done by brother one, there's no room for anything else. There's no room for another competing mamar. Clearly Rab Shimon attributes weight and value to mamar. What about Ben Azai? The Sani. Ben Azai Omer. Yesh mamar chamamar b'shnei yevam. B'yevama achas. If you have Reuben and Shimon, two brothers, approaching one Yevama, and each one does a separate mamar, both have value. Both carry weight. Why? Like we said before, because according to the Shitas Chachamim, these things were granted on a personal basis. I have a koyach mamar, you have a koyach mamar, but ve'ein mamar achar mamar b'shtei Yevamos v'yavam echad. There's one brother, one Yavam, with two Yevamos, he can't apply mamar and then another mamar to the other Yevama, because once he applied the first mamar, he's fully expended his mamar abilities. He no longer has the ability to add more. He's done. He's emptied his repertoire. He's emptied he's depleted his resources. Clearly, according to Ben Azai, mamar has full value and cannot be repeated. So you see that mamar is a kinyan chosh. It's interesting, they're not all the same. All these tanoim are not following the same, towing the same line. But there is some sort of common denominator between all these shittas, between all these names. We see that mamar isn't just some sort of formality. It has an effect to varying degrees. What about Reb Nechemya? The Snan Reb Nechemya oimer achas be'ila v'achas chalitza. Whether bia or chalitza, bein betchila, bein be'emtza, bein be'soif, whether it was done the first in sequence, or in the middle, or at the end, after other types of processes apply to the Yevama, ein achrei klum, nothing follows. That's the final word, that's the end of the day. Says the Gemara, what do you mean? Bia psula. Let's focus on bia. If it was done in a puzzle fashion, if it was preceded by a get or whatever, that's not a proper bia. The kemamar shavir abonon, we see the Chachamim deal with this bia like a mamar. Rashi explains in the bottom line here. V'bia psula kemamar shavir abonon, says Rashi, telenavke minei beget. You see that a bia in this context is not treated like a regular yivam. You can't just apply a get as you would to an ordinary yivam who had a proper yivam. The kaboya nami chalitza is the kase. Clearly, you have to address the zika. You still have to do chalitza because we don't treat this experience as a proper bia. Because it was a bia psula, because it was preceded by something else which invalidated the bia to a certain extent. It has a bit of a mamar. The chalitza is still needed. The zika is still intact. The kemama shavir rabban, says the Gemara, uktani en achrei klum. What does Reb Nechemya tell us? Even this type of experience, even something which is equated to mamar, is the final word. Apparently, mamar carries weight and has much value. Okay, quick summation of today's daf. We had Machlekes Rabban Gamliel and the Chachamim, whether you can actually duplicate, you can repeat mamar and mamar, get and get. Rabban Gamliel says no. He says, look, the first one worked. There's no room for the second one. Right? Whatever the first one accomplished cannot be repeated by the second one. Chacham say no, everything's personal. Each Yavam has his own personal ability to apply these things. Each Yavama has her own personal ability to accept these things. Therefore, each one needs to be reckoned with. So although we learned that Chalitza Psula wouldn't be done on behalf of everybody, and you have to apply it to each Yavama, or each brother has to apply his own Chalitza Psula, depending on the situation. But that's only according to the Shita of Yesh Zika. Our Shitas our mission doesn't follow Yesh Zika. We concluded with a whole long list of Tanaim who seem to give value to mamar in varying degrees with various applications and manifestations. Hatzlacha Rabba to you, and all the best.